Hello everyone. Hi, this is Dr. Tithi Banerjee, Assistant Professor of Civil Engineering from Swami Vivekananda Institute of Science and Technology. So class, today I'll be delivering lectures on basic aspects of environmental engineering, why environmental engineering is very important in civil engineering, what is its role, and some basic characteristics of sewage. So let's start the class. Now, these slides represents the importance of environmental engineering in civil engineering. So, you all have been introduced to this subject, environmental engineering, in your schools, and in a bit advanced stage, you have learned it in first year of BTech Civil Engineering. Now, slowly and gradually, we will enter into the vast domain of environmental engineering, and we will learn the several disciplines of this subject. So, students, we all know that our planet and as well as the environment in which we are living are getting polluted and contaminated day by day by several human activities. And the impact is really alarming because it is polluting and contaminating our environment in a very rapid way and in a very alarming way. So we need to consider all the facts and impacts of human activities which are creating uh, an imbalance between the environment and human civilization. So we will consider all those aspects. And first of all, we need to know that civil engineers play a great role in making our planet, in making our environment sustainable so that we can live in this planet in a healthier way. There are several aspects where the civil engineers play a crucial role. We will discuss later, one by one, we will discuss it. First, if I have to give a brief the importance of environmental engineering in a nutshell, it will be like this way. So, environmental engineering teaches sustainable design and waste management techniques. It helps in protecting human health and environment. Essential, it is very essential for water supply, sewage treatment, and pollution control. Integrates environmental aspects into civil infrastructure projects. Enhance understanding of environmental impact assessment. So, first of all, you need to know that what is environmental impact assessment. So, we all know that civil engineering, the subject civil engineering always deal with several projects related to construction. So, nowadays, government has passed a rule, more precisely, the Pollution Control Board have passed a rule that any constructor or developers have to comply the EC conditions which are published by government in 2006. So the civil engineers as well as the developers, the constructors have to comply all the environmental clearance conditions. So once the conditions are complied, then only any developer or construction or civil engineer can build a project related to construction. And what is environmental impact assessment? Environmental impact assessment is a detailed report of several aspects of environment, that is water, that is noise, that is sound, that is air, that is soil, all the parameters which creates a important role in constructing a healthy environment. All these parameters, details of these parameters are considered in the report of environmental impact assessment, and has been if the report has been get through by the government, then only a constructor or developer or civil engineer can construct a building or kind of roadways, railway tracks, or any kind of construction. So that's why, first of all, we need to comply the environmental clearance conditions which has been published by government in 2006, and then we have to prepare a detailed report of the environmental impact assessment which involves the study of several parameters which is constructing environment, that is air, noise, soil, water, all are those important parameters. So we need to deliver in the report whether the aspects which I have elaborated, that is air, noise, sound, whether they are in a permissible limit or not. Then only the government can pass the government can pass the rule so that we can, as a civil engineer, we can construct any kind of project related to construction. So in a nutshell, if I want to explain the role of environmental engineering, civil engineering, we can say that it helps to design of sewage and drainage systems to protect our environment from contamination, construction of water treatment and wastewater plants, management of solid and hazardous waste, ensures compliance with environmental regulations, which I have explained, and promotes sustainable urban development, which is really crucial because we have to save our planet for us and for future generations. Now, so I have described why environmental engineering is important and the role of civil engineers. Now, I will give you a brief details of sewage. So, sewage are nothing but wastewater which are generated from household activities, from industries, from institution, from any marketplace related to retail, anything. So, the wastewater is generally termed as sewage. So, naturally, it will contain organic matter as well as chemical matters, chemical constituents, organic constituents, as well as microorganisms. So there are three types of sewage: domestic sewage, which are generally coming from household activities; industrial sewage, which is coming from industries or industrial belts; and another is stormwater runoff. Now, what is stormwater runoff? The rainfall which are creating the rainfall which are being poured on the earth's surface, and whatever pollutions it is creating by eroding the dust. So the water which is contaminated with the dust of the earth crust, that is known as the sewage created from storm water. Right? Storm water is nothing but the rain which is being poured on the earth's surface due to natural activities. Right? So the sewage which are generated from erosion of rainfall, the erosion of rain, and generally which is contaminated by dust particles which are lying on the earth's surface. So in one sentence, we can say that the treatment of sewage is very important to prevent our planet, to prevent earth from pollution, and before releasing it into the environment, it should be treated. So there are several treatment processes which we will discuss in the next class. that is primary sewage treatment process, secondary sewage treatment process, tertiary sewage treatment process. We will discuss it one by one. Okay, so this is a brief details of sewage. Now we need to know the importance of sewage water treatment plant. So, as I have discussed, it is very important to provide some degree of treatment to wastewater before it can be used for agriculture or landscape irrigation or for aquaculture. So, the treated sewage water, please listen carefully. The treated sewage water can be reused or can be recycled because we need to save water also. So in what purpose we can use the treated sewage water? In agriculture purpose, in landscape purpose, in aquaculture, as well as car cleaning, several household purpose, we can use the treated sewage water. Now, the principal objective of sewage treatment is generally to allow human effluents to be disposed of without danger to human health or unacceptable damage to the natural environment. Naturally, I have explained. According to our research, a large number of people die from waterborne disease, that is jaundice, diarrhea, cholera, in most of the developing countries. In most of the developed countries, we used to suffer from this fatal disease, that is diarrhea, cholera, jaundice. So, therefore, it is very important to get the proper treatment of the water for a healthy livelihood. Now, source of this water, uh, I have told, I'm explaining in a tabulated form. That is, the sources of this water are human waste, washing water, rainfall collected on roofs, yards, hard standings, which is commonly known as storm water, domestic sources, direct ingress of river water. Yeah, sometimes river transgress into the land because of several natural activities and calamities. So that can also pollute water, highway drainage, and industrial source. So these are the common sources of wastewater. Now, we need to know that physical characteristics of this domestic sewage. So, one important attributes is color. The sewage, we all know that often appears as gray or brown. The color intensity can vary based on the age and strength of the wastewater. That is, for example, if the color of a wastewater is a light gray color, then we can say that the sewage is less contaminated. But if it is dark brown or dark gray or blackish in color, we can easily interpret that the sewage is highly pollutant and contaminated. So color can be a distinguishing property. Now coming to odor. A characteristics of an unpleasant odor is a common feature of sewage. So if odor of sewage is really foul, okay, then we can say that the sewage is intensely contaminated. Okay, so we can easily say that odor is also a distinguishing physical attributes of sewage. Now coming to temperature. So if the sewage tends to be warmer than surrounding water due to heat generated from household activities, industrial process, and the decomposition of matter, then we can say that the sewage is more contaminated. Lesser the temperature, the sewage is lesser contaminated. So, the temperature of sewage is a critical factor influencing the rate of chemical reactions and microbial activities. Increased temperature can accelerate decomposition, potentially intensifying the odor. Right? So, greater the temperature, the sewage is more contaminated. Now, coming to turbidity. Sewage is typically turbid. The turbidity current generates due to presence of suspended solids. So if the sewage is more turbid, so we can say the velocity of turbidity current is greater, then we can say that the the amount of suspended solid in the sewage is more, so the sewage is more contaminated or more pollutant. Now sewage contains various suspended solids, including organic matter like food waste, toilet paper, soap, and inorganic matter like sand, grit. Several kind of suspended metals also can be there in sewage. So these are the physical attributes of a sewage. So we will, in the next class, we will discuss in details in the chemical characteristics of sewage. As of now, we are next class will be in the next class we will be describing detail regarding the chemical characteristics of sewage. As of now, please go through all the characteristics. Okay, thank you, class.